Hello, my fellow Ragers, and welcome back to another Outwardly experience. Today, we will be learning how to create an admin system and how to make commands for admins only. So, let's get started. So, we will create a new class, add class, and we will call it admin.cs. Over here, we are not going to import GTA Network API. What we are going to do is we are going to create an enum enumerator. This enumerator will contain all of the admin ranks. So public enum, let's call it rank and int. Basically, this means is that this enumerator rank is going to be of the data type int. Let's define all of the admin ranks. So admin none, admin, let's say junior, admin lead, and then admin owner. Now we have our admin enumerator defined. We are going to make a variable of data type rank in our player data class. Over here we have cache, first spawn, and the data identifier, which is the key for our set data. We are going to store this object from class data in our player object. So now let's create another variable. It's going to be public admin. The data type is going to be admin.rank, and the variable name is going to be admin level. And in our constructor, let's just give it an initial value, which is going to be admin none, because when the player connects for the first time, it's just going to define it that the player is not an admin. So this dot admin level is equals to admin rank dot admin none. So our constructor, our class is completely ready. Now we're going to implement a command. So let's create a new class in our folder commands. Add class. Let's call this admin commands.cs. Over here, we are going to import the API, GTA Network API, and inherit script. Let's go! We are going to make a command which will create vehicles. So, command, and let's call this command v, and we'll give a help text. So, usage v and the vehicle name. Greedy args has to be true, and then we are going to create a function which will get triggered when this command is executed. So public void cmd create vehicle. Now the parameters for this function is going to be the player and the vehicle name, which will be string. So player and then string vehicle name. First thing what we are going to do is we are going to check if the player is an admin or not. But before that, let's head back to our data class, and over here I have created another function. This function name is return player data. What this does is basically if you give the parameter player in the function, then it is going to return the data object that you created when the player connects. As you can see, when the player connects in our event player connected, we created a new object of player data.data, and we set it using the identifier, which is in our class itself, the data identifier, which is constant. Now, this function is just simply going to return the object, so we don't have to constantly write player.getData and then give a generic type and then the identifier. So instead of doing this again and again, I just simply created a function. Now we're going to use this. We'll head back to our admin class, and first we'll check if the player is an admin or not. So if player data.data.return player data, and we'll pass the player object dot admin level. If this is, let's say I want this command to be restricted to, what admin levels do we have even? Let's say I want to restrict it to admin lead. So what we are going to do is if the admin level is less than admin lead, then we will prompt the player that you cannot use this command unless give an error as well and return so that the function stops its execution if the player is not an admin. However, if the player is an admin, then we are going to get the hash for this vehicle name, which is of data type string. So vehicle hash is equals to napi.util.vehicle name to model. The parameters for vehicle name to model is that you need to pass a string which contains the name of the vehicle, which we already have in our parameter in the function cmd create vehicle. So let's add that. Now we're going to check if the vehicle name that was passed is a correct vehicle name or not. So to check if it's correct or not, we will simply do if hash is equals to 0, then player.send chat message invalid vehicle name. Let me give an error prompt as well. There we go. And return so that the code execution stops over there. However, if hash is not equals to 0, that means this part won't get triggered. So return will not get triggered. What we will do is we will create the vehicle. So first let's create a data type vehicle, and the identifier will be vehicle with a small v, and napi.vehicle.createVehicle. Okay, now there are a lot of overloads for this function. We will use the overload which contains the vehicle hash. So we will add hash. Then we need to add the position. We will use the player's position. So player dot position dot around, and let's say 5. Then we need the rotation. So player dot rotation dot z, which contains the rotation in float. Now we need color 1 and color 2. We are going to give random colors to the vehicle. So let me make a random class object is equals to new random, and then random dot next 160 comma random dot next 160. That's all we need. Now we have created our vehicle. Let's give a prompt to the player that player has actually created the vehicle. So player dot send chat message, and over here we are going to do color. So tutorial.utils.colors.color info, and over here we will give info and then white, and we will write the player's actually we won't write the player's name. You have created now the vehicle name, so vehicle dot display name. What did we do so far? Over here we returned the object with the help of the function return player data. Then we access the variable admin level. We checked if the player's admin level is less than admin lead. If it is less than admin lead, then we are going to show an error message and stop the code execution with return. Then we are going to create a hash with the help of the function vehicle name to model, and we will pass the vehicle name, which is of data type string. Then we will check if hash is equals to 0. If it is equals to 0, that means the vehicle name that the player provided is wrong. So we will give another error message that the name of the vehicle was invalid, and then we will use return to stop the code execution. We created a random object so that we could create color, the two colors. Color starts from 0, ends to 159. That's why I use 160. And then with the help of napi.vehicle.createVehicle, we actually created the vehicle and stored the object in vehicle of data type vehicle. And lastly, we prompted the player that they have created a vehicle. Now for this to work, the player has to be an admin. So let's create a dummy command which makes us an admin. So let me just make me admin and then public void cmd make me admin. The parameter is going to be player, so player. And then let me just copy this is equals to admin owner. So what this does is this is a simple command, make me admin. We do not need any other arguments. It's just slash make me admin. Then over here we are using the class data and we are returning the object with the help of the function return player data, and we are accessing the variable admin level, and then we are using the assignment operator and then assigning the admin owner level to the player. Now this makes the player an admin, and this is basically the command to create a vehicle. So let's test this out. I'll run the game and unpause the video real quick. Okay, so we are in game. Let's test out the commands. First, we will give all the wrong input. So v test, it's saying that you cannot use this command. Well, I should have written command, but anyway, this implies that I'm not an admin. So let me make an admin, make myself admin, make me admin. And now let's test it again, v test. Now it's telling me that it's an invalid vehicle name because test is no vehicle. Now let's give a correct input, v buffalo. And there you go. It's prompting us that you have created a buffalo and the buffalo has spawned as well. And this is how you create an admin commands. If you have any doubts, then leave a comment. If you learned anything at all, then hit that like button, subscribe for more tutorial, and until the next video, peace out.